Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the DM test drive of the 2022 Nissan Frontier. Now I'm really excited about this truck. It's been a long time coming for Nissan to breathe some life into their mid-size truck competitor, and they sure have done a great job at it so far. And Nathan's here with us because Nathan's been along for a lot of our mid-size truck comparisons and kind of just talking and reviews and stuff. So we're gonna just keep it candid. We're gonna go around. We've spent a little bit of time with the truck, but we haven't spent a lot. So this is gonna be just some of our kind of a mixture of initial observations and having spent a little bit of time with the truck and kind of comparing it to some others and just telling you guys exactly what we see. You can obviously look up so many of the specs of this thing online. You're perfectly capable of doing that, but the quick and dirty of it: 3.8 liter V6, 9-speed automatic, 310 horse, totally refreshed and redone for 2022, but still sticking to the tried and true truck formula. Nathan, you commented the bed surprisingly light, and it is damped as well, and you could pull it up quite easily. I mean, if you had something else in your arms, they did a good job with that. And I think a lot of the theme, as we'll be seeing with the truck more and more throughout the day, is kind of no frills. It's for people who want a truck. You can see this bed liner is very rugged and trucky. You've got these channel lock systems that you could loosen up, move around, tie things down. I'm thinking right now, if I put the Grom in the back here or something like that, pull it right up front, tie it down to these 4 spots, we'll be ready to go. One cool thing is you can actually still get 6-foot beds with the Frontier too. So this is the 5-foot. But you can get even the full crew cab with a 6-foot bed, which is how I would get it. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have some LED lights back there? You've got that wall style outlet that you pointed out. A few more tie down points. No tricks and quirks and features like the Ridgeline, but it's a bed.
A 6-foot bed kind of makes it a best of all worlds. You got, if you don't need to haul like a 5,000 pound boat, you've got good fuel economy, smaller, more compact for around town, but you can still put things like bikes, motorcycles, and snowmobiles in the back.
Right, exactly. You do also have to worry a bit about the bed width with mid-size trucks, and looking at those wheel wells, I could see those maybe being an issue for like a wider snowmobile or 4-wheeler or something like that. But I don't know, you might be able to work around them.
Yeah.
It's something we'd have to try and practice.
Kind of a simple bed for
it is. Truck. Like I said, there'll be, the simplicity does kind of seem to be the name of the game still, even with this new Frontier, which in some ways, if you're somebody who wants a lot of kind of tricks like the Ridgeline, then you might need to go a little bit more that route. But I think a lot of people, and what Nissan is hoping for, is people just want a truck.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're getting here.
No assist to get up into the bed, but with a mid-size truck, you don't really need it that much.
Yeah, and that's another thing I like. I mean, look, we could actually, we're 5'10" people. We could reach in and grab things in here or set something on the top or whatever. You can't do that with most full-size trucks these days.
Like an F-150, like the bed's up here.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so you have to have some sort of assist to get up. But this, you could have something way up here in the front of the head, grab your toe strap, bring it up, tie it in or something like that. I really like the looks, both from the rear and the front. The rear is a little bit more conservative. I can see people who kind of want a little bit more subtle truck design appreciating that. I like a bit of the smokiness, both in the badging and in the taillights. I like this color too. I'm glad they gave it to us in blue. I feel like you don't see a lot of trucks in dark blue.
I was expecting it to be in brown.
Right. Yeah, I could see that a lot more. But no, this blue looks really good. This is the full crew cab, 5-foot box, and then looking again at the front, it's cool. I mean, They did a good job, unlike the Ford Ranger, actually styling something new and unique and different than most other trucks. Most other mid-size trucks, I should say. I said a lot of the full sizes are kind of going to this robotic look, but the mid-size trucks haven't really made it there. Yeah. Clearly LED headlights all the way around. You've got the accents in there. In fact, let's turn on the LED accents, see if we can get that going. Are they on now?
Yep. Wow, those look really good.
And I've driven this truck at night, and the lights are really bright too, especially when you turn the brights on. They're really good headlights.
You want to know one thing I like about this?
What's that?
They haven't put stupid off-road tires on this.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, they haven't put off-road tires on it, and they also haven't put 20 20-inch rims on it with 1 inch of
Sidewall.
sidewall. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you got nice.
It's chunky.
Like, you can take up the Detroit bumps with it, but you're still getting decent fuel economy.
Yeah.
And a quiet, comfortable ride.
Well, this is the SV trim, which is second from the top, and I actually specifically requested this instead of a Pro 4X because realistically, this is what most people are going to buy and what most people should buy. I mean, the Pro 4X I'm sure is cool, got more capable suspension, everything like that, but it's probably got a little bit more off-roady, all-terrain sort of tire, and I don't want that for daily driving. This is going to be fine.
The Colorado we had was the ZR2, which, I mean, it was fine on road, but to compare it with, like, why would I need a ZR2? Why would the average person need a ZR2?
Yeah, 100%. We'll take this off-road a little bit here later on, and we'll see it does just fine. Let's do a quick peek under the hood before we take it. I will note that we have not taken this off-road yet, but Christopher Brower did, so it is still a little bit dirty, but I think it looks good that way. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
There's that 3.8 liter.
Look how much room there is.
It's a good amount of room. The hood does not open very far. I feel like I'm going to hit my head looking in there.
That's a good point.
I wonder why it doesn't go any further than that.
One
But yeah, that's a fairly easy to get to V6 there.
Everything looks very mechanical but clean at the same time. Not like the new Ford Bronco where it's a maze of wires and everything.
Yeah, simplicity. That's what Nissan's going for. Everything is so chunky and confident sounding. We were mentioning that with the doors earlier. I mean, that's a solid sound. There's no twanginess or metallic. Let's see if the back's like that too. A little bit more on the handle.
I just love shutting these doors. I can do it all day long.
Right, and this is a pre-production truck and it's still pretty well put together. Go ahead and hop in. Let's see what you look like. Again, as 5'10", so comfort. This is the largest cab option.
Ooh.
So a little bit squished, but you could still probably be back there for a few hours. You know, 'cause, it looks like your feet have somewhere to go.
My biggest complaint is I'm very, very upright. I'm in fact about,
what does this do?
85 degrees.
Probably doesn't recline you anymore. What does it?
Probably.
Oh, you're right. It probably brings that up.
Just get out. All right. Yep.
What's under there? Nothing?
Speaker.
Yeah, that's a subwoofer from the Fender audio system, which we will review separately. Yes, go ahead and take a look on the other side.
Thing. Pull.
There you go. There's some storage.
Yeah. Put a jack on here, put some gloves, toe straps.
Yep, looks like you can even latch things down, so that's good. Let's both hop in.
Hang on a minute.
You can probably take this out to like clean it or whatever. Yeah. Fairly flat floor, so that's good. Oh, I see what you mean. You do have to sit quite upright.
Yeah. But you do.
Yeah, let's center armrest with large cup holders as well.
Got USB Type-C, regular USB, and a wall outlet.
I do really appreciate that they did both C and A.
And a wall.
Well, and a wall outlet. Yeah. But some brands are going all C or sticking all A. It's nice to have a combination. All light.
I like the details in the seats and the leather, the stitching.
And this is not the top trim either. This is an SV and it still looks good. You have your open up slidey window here, just manual, some handles, and overall a simple place to be back here. Getting on up into the front, the idea of simplicity still blends with usability. Seat controls, very straightforward, no sort of lumbar, just front, forward, back, left, right, recline, etc. You've got some parking sensors. Got that 12 volt, goes up to 400 watts. Cargo lamp, hill descent control, looks like. Traction control. Manual parking brake down there on the floor, which is nice. Nathan mentioned it's nice to have this little bit of accent on the door. It just kind of helps set things off a little bit.
Accent that runs through the entire interior. With
Yeah.
these grab handles.
Yep. So it's nice that even getting the SV trim, you're not getting just a completely bland interior. You still have some nice cross stitching. Some of this got leather on the shift knob and the boot on the steering wheel. Kind of cool gauges. I appreciate that they're both still just analog. I could take or leave an analog speedometer at this point. I feel like speedometer, I'm fine to have digital, but it's cool to have an analog tack.
Especially something like this where you might actually want to pay attention to your revs and all
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're towing, if you're getting up near that tow max or something.
Off-roading.
Yeah.
You have a heated steering wheel.
Yep, heated steering wheel, heated seats, parking sensors. Again, USB A and C, both data supporting. Dual zone climate control. That's pretty good for the SV.
It's simple, yet it has the features.
Exactly. No four-wheel drive auto, which I find kind of interesting. You're either two-wheel drive or four high. I'd say, I don't know if... I think there would be people in this class who definitely appreciate that, but I also think there's people that would appreciate just having one or the other.
Yeah.
So I guess they chose to do that. No sort of handle for the driver's side. That's a bit disappointing. You have two handles, though, so it's like almost like they could have brought one over here. A little sunroof, which I know a lot of people appreciate because you cannot get a sunroof in the GM models. Nice stop-start button. Let's fire it up.
Should we get an exhaust clip?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds meaty. Fairly straightforward Nissan infotainment. It's kind of just what they're putting in everything these days. It looks a little dated, but actually does work pretty well. No navigation, but you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can just kind of hook that up and be good to go. I like having the big old shifter that's easy to grab. Only automatic up and down windows on the driver. I feel like they could have spent a little bit more money to just make it auto up for all the windows. Not the end of the world, but you know, when you start to get better and better vehicles, you got to nitpick a little bit more, and that's probably where I would nitpick. 9-speed automatic transmission. Thank goodness Nissan didn't decide to put a CVT in here or anything. No sorts of drive modes or anything. You do have manual shifting. You can pull a shift lever over and step it down manually.
Can I feel the knob?
The knob?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh.
Hardy, isn't it?
Yeah. Like your Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
A previous
shuffler.
Nissan product. It's just nice, satisfying, back and forth.
I think the mirrors, you might want them a little bit larger if you were towing a lot. Maybe they make a larger mirror option. You can obviously go aftermarket for that. But it's hard to tell. Maybe at some point we'll get a trailer on this thing. And the steering is heavy. I mentioned it, and I mentioned it to Chris Brower, and he said he kind of likes how it makes the truck feel a little bit more trucky. I just prefer a lighter steering in general. What do you prefer, lighter or heavier?
It really depends on the car. Some cars can pull off a light steering while others can pull off a heavy steering.
Okay.
What I'm used to is a very heavy steering from the Taurus. So when I get in a car with light steering, I immediately notice I feel it's over-assisted.
Too light.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you might appreciate this. I'm not sure. We'll see. I do like having the digital speed right in the middle. There's plenty of different menus you can play from in there. 55. Let's close this real quick. Seems decently quiet.
Yeah.
Very truck feeling ride. I like to say with body on frame vehicles, pretty much every bump gets ironed out to be a medium. Whether it's small, medium, or large bump, they're all mediums. Let's toss it around this corner and see how much squeal we can get. Lots of squeal. It does hold gears though. Right up to its 7,000 RPM red line. It does feel confident, I've got to say. Oh, lots of delay in the shifting though, which, I mean, the whole point of manual shifting in a truck like this is not to be sporty and quick, but to be able to maybe tow in a certain gear or stay in a certain gear off-road. Brakes, a lot of confidence right off beginning, probably borderline touchy, but with most vehicles you kind of get accustomed to whatever you drive regularly. Do a little 0 to 60.
Sounds good.
Traction control off. AC off.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
There.
7.8 seconds.
Now maybe let's try that without me spinning the tires for 3 seconds. 7.8. Okay. All right, ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, much better. 8.1. What the heck?
Well, sometimes it is better to light them up, I guess. So yeah, okay. So pretty average truck numbers. You know, no big surprise there. I bet if I were in 4-wheel drive, it'd probably go faster too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm glad they didn't put on here? Paddle shifters.
That, yeah. Agreed.
I don't know why it's beeping at me. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
55. And get up. You do have adaptive cruise control here in the SV model. It does definitely seem more composed up here at highway speeds than the Tacoma, though. Not having to shift all the time. I mean, we spent a lot more time in the Tacoma than we did on the highway than we did in this, but it still feels pretty good, honestly. We will be doing a highway fuel economy test on this later tonight, kind of see what sort of fuel economy we get, and I'll give a few more highway observations after that. It'd be hard to really come up with too much to complain about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the main thing you could complain about, I guess, is just that it is a truck. And I mean, trucks just full, like body on frame style trucks just have some downsides to them that you're just never going to get away from. I mean, the ride is going to be bumpy and things are going to be chunky, and that's just, if you don't want that, you get a Ridgeline.
Yeah.
There's Ridgeline, Santa Cruz, or Maverick. Other than that, like, I actually really like the transmission. I'm impressed. It's shifting so well. Well and smooth. Engine's got a good note to it. It's not quick to react necessarily. If you put your foot down, it's not going to be like a sports car and downshift quickly, but so far I've been able to drive it around and not notice the transmission, which probably means it's doing its job. Again, I like just how low the bed is. It's just makes more sense. It really does for day-to-day type stuff. No telescoping steering wheel, so that's interesting. I wonder.
All right.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Ooh, very touchy.
Yep. The throttle's definitely touchy. Once you kind of get used to that as well.
Feels torquey though. It gets really gets up to speed.
Mm-hmm. Like this little. Oh, look, they put a sticky thing in here too, a grippy thing, which is nice. A lot of grippy things.
Feels very much like a truck. I know exactly what you mean. Like you turn the wheel and
There's a big old body roll, and
it feels bigger than it actually is, which is for me is a good thing when I'm driving a mid-sized truck. I like to feel that I'm bigger than I actually am.
Do you?
All right.
Honestly, this thing sounds just as tough and manly as something like a lot of the big size, full-size trucks, you know? Probably more than an F-150.
It sounds like a classic Nissan.
Yeah.
Like a 350Z or a, anything with the
VQ.
Yeah, VQ.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, I'm in 8, 7, 6, 5.
Pretty
4.
much nothing happens until you get way down. And you feel how
3.
long of a delay it is between when you shift.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's strong. 310 horse. It comes on the good red line.
Let's sauce it. Lots of delay.
Yeah, I know.
I love how it goes up to 7,000 though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very satisfying engine.
I would go as far as to say I think I like it better than the 3.5 in the Honda. Because like the Honda sounds better for like a sports car or an Accord or something, but this seems more fitting for a truck.
I want to do more. Oh,
Gotta get all the way down there. And then eventually it makes its way.
oh yeah.
The rev limiter sounds kind of cool too.
The transmission feels solid. The engine feels solid and tough. So that's doors. transmission and engine. Now the next thing is just suspension.
Yeah, let's take this thing off-road. And we don't have the most difficult or trying off-road section test loop here at Daily Motor, but it's at least
You can get
technically
an idea.
off-road. Yeah.
You can get an idea of what it could be capable of.
Yes.
Is it right here?
Yes.
All right. Oh, we got some puddles. And as you would expect, no problem for this thing going through this part. Actually, yeah, really no problem at all. This is probably one of the best in terms of just absorbing the deeper and bigger bumps.
Well, we'll see once we get up to some of these really big kind of up and downs. I mean, we're in the SV, we're not in the Pro 4X, so the suspension's not going to be quite as good at the big stuff. But yeah, if you're just someone who's just going to be doing some two tracking, getting out to a campsite or going down some broken dirt roads or something like that, this is going to do very well for you.
The truck is just taking all the beating and I'm not feeling any of it, which is what I love when I'm off-roading. Turn in here. Ooh.
That took it pretty well. This is a deep one.
How should I approach it? Should I
Try to stay a little bit on the side, but then just go.
go for it?
You want four-wheel drive?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh! Yeah.
I
no
mean,
bump stops or anything?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. I love the rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I love being able to control that. That handled it really well.
Yeah.
See, you don't need the Pro 4X. You don't need the ZR2.
Yeah. That power immediacy helps with that sort of thing too. You're not waiting for a turbo to spool up or anything like that.
Just a good old 3.8 liter V6.
Right.
Grab my grab handle.
I'm gonna put it in 4 for this. 4 high. A little more crawly this time. Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
It does feel confident. It really does. And this, again, we're reiterating, this isn't hard stuff. We're not saying like, oh wow, this is amazing.
Best off-roader in the world.
Right. We're just pointing out that if you needed to make it down, hunting trail, something like that.
How often are you going to take your truck down even something like that?
Right. Most people are just going to take it to the Starbucks parking lot and get their latte and then drive to their 9-to-5 job. And again, like you said with the tires earlier today too, why do you need big all-terrain tires? For me, living where I do, I'd rather get just proper winter tires on my truck instead of all-terrains. Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
Just nothing. That's cool. I gotta say, there's nothing that's blowing my mind with the Frontier, but that's kind of what is making it good.
Yeah.
Like, so many times you and I review cars, trucks, whatever, and they're just kind of like face-palming sort of things like, this would be so great, but why did they do this or something like that? There isn't with this truck, and that's refreshing, and it's cool because the rest of the mid-size truck market is so much weaker than the full-size truck. I mean, you got the Ridgeline, which is good at doing daily driver type things. Not going to be quite as robust for off-road or a lot of towing, that sort of thing. And then you've got the Ranger, which was old when it was new. And you're dealing with the Ranger, you got turbocharged engine. Not everyone wants to deal with that. Some people just want good old, easy, naturally aspirated engine like this. Then you've got the Colorado and the Canyon, which have good powertrains, good transmissions and everything, but which is very old inside, a lot of features you can't get, and it feels like you're driving an old product. And then you have the Tacoma. The Tacoma is good, but it's lacking in a lot of things compared to this. Transmission's not as good. It feels not necessarily cheaper, but flimsier in a way. Like, you know it's going to be reliable just because of it. They are, but it doesn't inspire you the same way this does.
And comfort was bad. Highway experience was bad.
Yeah, really bad.
It's just that nothing was really. Everything was just kind of subpar, except for reliability, and I'm sure off-roading. It's fine.
And yeah, it's just cool that the Frontier is good enough to be what I would think class leading. I mean, we're not obviously driving them back to back, but I have very few complaints, and that's a good thing in this class.
Very tough engine, suspension, transmission, doors, everything. It feels like a very tough, capable truck that you can just thrash around, do your daily dues,
and enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy and utilize.
And not to forget that wonderful engine that actually has a really good note. It revs all the way up to 7,000, and it just sounds so tough and yet raw and performance-y.
Sweet. Well, thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Frontier, we're going to take it on a highway fuel economy test, got a review of the 10-speaker Fender audio system, and we'll see you on the next one. We're Charlie and Nathan from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.